Well, welcome back. It is a little hard to see for us in downtown Macon right now. It's like a fog is trying to set in a little bit. Might also just be some mist. Either way, we're sitting at 44 degrees right now with a wind out of the north at 8 miles per hour. The wind has not been very strong today. Yes, there are the occasional gusts out there, but sustained winds are not very strong. You still have a little bit of light shower activity to track off to the south. You see a freeze watch in effect off to the southeast. I alluded earlier that there's a cold weather advisory for parts of middle Georgia. I don't have it on display because that basically just means layer up, right? Well, look for things like freeze warning, stuff like that could impact crops. We don't have one of those. Now here's a recap of the rain from earlier today. It'll be the last time I can show you the 12 hours because it won't be including everything anymore after this. So the wet spots are about half an inch. The dry spots were about 1/10 of an inch. So we definitely got less rain in the northern counties versus those of us further south, which will be important to note as we head into the overnight hours. We're going to stay in the 40s for a while. Most of the night will be spent in the 30s, and there will be some spots that get below freezing. 29 degrees for our low in Macon. That is the air temperature, not the temperature of the ground. The wind could still gust to about 20 miles per hour. We've kind of seen that a little bit already, but you see these spots are going below freezing. For sites, the one spot where the ground may get to that freezing point, may get to it. Keep in mind, 1/5 of an inch for rain up there. Not much. By the time the temperatures get that low, it's going to be dry on the roads and there won't be any refreezing to worry about. The places that got more of that rain earlier, well, you're not going below freezing. So it's not even an issue as we head into tonight. Now let's talk about this cold blast. The wind is going to be very, very pronounced tomorrow. We've talked about the gusts are going to range 20 to 30 miles per hour. The sustained winds will be 10 to 20 miles per hour. That'll be all through the day. They'll back off some overnight. By the time we get into Friday, the wind will now be back out of the north-northeast as we start to get some high pressure to fill in, and eventually we'll shift that wind direction to out of the southeast heading into Saturday. Friday night will be pretty cloudy. Saturday will be sunny, and Friday itself should be pretty sunny. It's going to be overnight Friday into Saturday that we'll have a window of high clouds moving through. So now we're talking actual temperature, right? The first time was wind chills, second time was the wind gusts. Now actual temperatures, all right? So heading past midnight, we start to get into those upper 30s. We're going to be around or just below that freezing point out the door in the morning. Then we get into the afternoon. High temperatures will be in the regular part of the day. We're talking low to mid 40s here, but the real feels will never reach this point. We saw earlier that those wind chills are going to be firmly staying in the mid to upper 30s except for the far southern spots, and those spots are going to have actual temperatures that are almost pushing 50 degrees, but you wouldn't think that with it feeling like 41 or 42 in somewhere like McRae or Abbeville. Then the actual real cold gets in here as we get into Friday morning. We looked at the chills, and those are in the teens. But the reason why the temperature is significant here, these low 20s, is if you have older plumbing, you may want to think about dripping those faucets to make sure you don't have to deal with any disaster. So it'll be the only night this weekend to do that. We'll be back above freezing again, or at least back above that pipe threshold by Friday night. And then over the weekend, warming is expected to continue. Tomorrow's high, 42. We'll look beyond that in 10 seconds. 7-day forecast is brought to you by Volume Chevrolet. So low 20s Friday night or Thursday night to Friday morning will be our valley. Again, we're still going to be below freezing Friday night to Saturday, but at that point we're back above that faucet dripping threshold. We should start to see lows again around freezing Saturday night into Sunday, and the warming trend will keep on going into next week, and there's a lot of sun to go with it.